If you've been scrolling through endless lists of powered speakers, comparing wattage, driver size, and price tags, and you still aren't sure which box actually makes sense for the kind of shows you run, this review should clear that up. I've spent the last few weeks testing a couple of QSC units in different rooms, reading through the specs, and digging into the handful of buyer comments that are out there, so I can give you a realistic picture, not just a sales sheet. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the K8.2 isn't a kitchen appliance you throw in the corner and forget about. It's a two-way, 8-inch powered PA designed for small to medium gatherings. Think house concerts, church youth groups, wedding receptions, or a DJ set at a community hall that holds up to about 250 people. The whole idea behind it is to give you a clean, loud sound without having to lug a rack-mount processor, an external mixer, and a separate subwoofer. That convenience is the biggest draw for anyone who needs to set up fast and break down even faster. One of the first things I looked at was how the speaker behaves when you actually walk into a room. The K8.2 uses QSC's proprietary waveguide technology, which spreads the high frequencies over a 105-degree horizontal arc. In practice, that means the sound stays even whether you're standing right in front of the speaker or off to the side. I set up a pair in a 200-square-foot community center and played a mix of spoken word, acoustic guitar, and a few bass-heavy electronic tracks. The speech stayed intelligible even at the back, and the music filled the space without any noticeable sweet spot where it suddenly got louder or brighter. That kind of consistent coverage is a practical win for anyone who can't spend hours tweaking speaker placement. The built-in DSP processor is another area where the K8.2 tries to simplify life. There are 3 EQ presets: flat, speech, and music, and a dedicated sub-preset that boosts low end when you hook up a supplemental subwoofer. I tried the speech setting for a local church's Sunday school lesson, and the voice came through crisp without the usual hiss you sometimes hear on cheaper units. When I switched to music for a DJ set, the bass felt tight but not boomy, which is exactly what you want when you're dealing with a room that's not acoustically treated. The presets are stored in the unit, so you don't have to remember a bunch of knob positions. You just press a button and you're set. Now, let's talk about the 3-input mixer. You get 2 combo XLR inputs that accept microphones or line-level sources, plus a stereo 3.5mm jack for a laptop or phone. This is a real convenience if you're a solo performer who wants to mic a vocal and feed a backing track from a phone without pulling out an external mixer. The level controls are simple, and the gain knobs give enough headroom to handle louder sources without clipping. I ran a karaoke night using a USB mic on one input and a Bluetooth speaker playing a backing track on the 3.5mm jack. The transition between the two sources was seamless, and there was no latency that could throw off the singers. Portability is a mixed bag. Each cabinet weighs about 27 pounds and has integrated handles, so you can lift them onto a small stage or into a van without a dolly. That's a big improvement over older QSC models that tipped the scales at over 40 pounds. However, 27 pounds is still a noticeable heft if you're a one-person operation that needs to carry the speakers up a flight of stairs. For most gig runners, a pair will be manageable if you have a partner or a small cart, but it's something to keep in mind if you're looking for something truly featherlight. From a power standpoint, the K8.2 delivers 2,000 watts of peak power, but the real story is in the usable output. In my tests, I could fill a 500-square-foot space at 95 dB without distortion, which is well within the comfort zone for a crowd of a couple hundred people. If you're planning a festival stage for 1,000 attendees, you'll need something larger, but for the intended audience size, the speaker is more than capable. The frequency response spans 59 Hz to 20 kHz, which means the low end is decent but not earth-shaking. If your act relies on deep sub-bass, think EDM, or heavy hip-hop, you'll likely want to pair the K8.2 with an external subwoofer. The sub-preset makes that connection straightforward, but the speaker on its own won't replace a dedicated sub. Who should buy the K8.2? If you're a worship leader, a DJ who plays at community events, a speaker who travels with a small PA, or a band that needs a reliable, easy-to-hook-up system for venues up to 250 people, these speakers hit the sweet spot between performance and portability. The built-in DSP, the decent mixer, and the even coverage mean you spend less time